So I guess we're ready, Nolene.
Great, thank you. Hi guys, and welcome to yet another Impact Speed Date with Impactoverse with myself, Nolene, founder and CEO of Impactoverse, and Kayla Philo, co-founder and CMO. And today we are very excited to have with us Joanna Hall from SustainChain. I won't share too much on it because I would love for you to hear a little bit more from her, a little bit more about the context, and just to figure out why, or for you to learn more about why this is such an incredible initiative that they've launched and how this really brings things together that we've been talking about for ages, technology, collaborations to be able to scale impact. So on that note, and because it's a speed date, I will very quickly pass over to Kayla.
Hi, thanks for that. Hi, looks like we have a couple people here. If you all have any questions, feel free to turn on your camera and wave your hand. But in the absence of that, we'll get started with, we're so excited to have Joanna here and love to have you just introduce yourself, give us a little bit of background about how you came to SustainChain, and then share anything that's on your mind. And you mentioned you had some screen share stuff, so I believe I enabled that. So let me know if not. All right, thanks, Joanna.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, ladies. It's such a pleasure to be here. So my quick background, and I love that this is speed dating because our whole mission at the coalition and our work with SustainChain is about accelerating progress. It's all about speed, decade of action. We don't have enough time. So my very quick background before this is I ran a software innovation studio in Manhattan, working with both, high growth startups, but also large enterprises and their innovation studios. Really enjoyed it, loved it, but really felt personally like there was a better use of my, energy, I would say, right, and experience in building and leveraging technology to unlock the massive change that is required. So my background is kind of in innovation and sort of software development, and I teamed up with the founder of the coalition. So Jacqueline Corbelli. The coalition is called the U.S. Coalition on Sustainability. So we are actually a nonprofit, a 501c3, who has sort of been operating like a startup. And we have been really aggressively building and deploying and sharing a public utility platform that's called SustainChain. So SustainChain is a social platform for making change. Think of it again as a free public utility where organizations can join, they can come together, and they can, through the utility, find partners, solutions, initiatives, groups, resources to help them on their own individual respective goals, right? But do so in a way that also enables us to lift all boats, right? By feeding a public utility, by feeding collective intelligence. And that's really the beauty of where we are today with technology. We all know, the scary side, but there's also an incredible amount of potential and opportunity if it's harnessed for good and if it's harnessed for impact. And really that is our whole mission. So we, again, we've been at this about 3.5 years, and we are just reaching this incredible moment where entire ecosystems of change, alliances that have already come together for some time with a shared mission to collaborate and work together and exchange information to go faster. Now they're actually being powered by SustainChain, a sort of a technology, a digital infrastructure that is enabling that, right, at a much more dynamic and accelerated clip than before. So I'd be happy to give you kind of a quick demo. I think that's the way that sort of makes it the most tangible, but this is, again, purpose-built and designed to support the change maker community, the leaders that are doing the work. So whether you are a small business, right, trying to achieve your own sustainability objectives and struggling to do it on your own, as so many are, right, because it is daunting and it's there's a lot to know about, whether you're an impact investor and you're actually looking for, fundable solutions, right, based on your thesis, whether you are a nonprofit or an academic institution that has been working on resources, playbooks, right, to feed and to support the ecosystem. This is a great place to actually share those solutions. Or whether you are a, solution or innovation provider. That's a big piece of our community is innovators, whether it's, early stage looking for partners, or whether it's, commercialization to say, hey, let's get in front of those brands and organizations that are desperately looking for new solutions, right, to achieve their goals. So this is a place for all types of organizations. We meet you where you are. Tell us a little bit about who you are, the role that you play, what you're focused on, and then the machine learning engine is actually going to start making recommendations for you of people to meet, projects to join, and so forth. So open for all, and I will do a quick screen share.
Thanks for that. That's really exciting. Let me know if it doesn't work for you. I believe there we go. Yay, it worked.
Yeah,
it worked. Amazing. So just quickly, and then I'll sort of pause for questions and whatnot, but this is SustainChain. So obviously it's customized for every individual that joins. You go through a very simple onboarding. Again, it's completely free. You can also sign up via LinkedIn. So very easy, ports over your profile. You join here, and then the first thing that you're going to see, a la, social media, right, but for good, is a curated feed of actions for you to take. And so these are, this is what I'm seeing, right, as an individual based on my particular profile and focus areas. But this is all being powered by DaVinci, which is a machine learning engine. It's a reinforcement learning system. So every interaction, every new member, it's getting smarter and smarter. And so DaVinci is going to serve for you members that you should meet, initiatives, which are projects, right, that might need your particular skill set, right, or focus area. Groups, this is a group that just recently launched that's focused on regenerative agriculture. Groups, and then the rest of the community is able to post needs and leads. So DaVinci is going to be surfacing for you either leads, right, that might be of relevance for you to check out, or needs where you might be able to help, right, other members of the community along their individual journeys as well. So it's constantly learning, constantly making these new recommendations. And then of course, the beauty is that any individual that joins is able to share and post instantly their own need, lead, solution, or initiative. Very simple, right? It's also fully responsive, mobile optimized. You can do this by mobile. Brief title of what it is that you're sharing, a brief description, who you want to share it with. You can share additional links as well, right? Maybe you have a whole sign up form or a solution, right, that you want to get out there. You can link to your website. And then you can assign the appropriate tags. And of course, the tagging is going to be what enables us to make the most, hyper relevant recommendations here as we go. So very simple to post a need, lead, solution, or initiative. You'll also be able to go into the interchange, which is that kind of public exchange, hence the name, right, where anybody can share initiatives, solutions, leads. So you can actually see everything, and you can either filter or you can search, right, based on what's of greatest relevance to you, or you can see what the recommendations are from DaVinci. So both, right, access to all for all. And then you can also go check out groups. And there's some incredible groups that are either forming on SustainChain or that are actually just plugging in, right? Entire alliances and communities that are working together, that are plugging into the chain so that these individual ecosystems of change, right, can also be connected to each other. They can have this fabric, right, between them. So come here, you can, see brief descriptions. You can search based on sort of, what you're focused on, and you'll be able to read a brief description and then request to join. So with that, hopefully that was quick enough.
Yeah, you did well. Have you had some practice of the speed dating thing then, Joanna?
That or coffee.
Yeah, it is morning for you. Thank you so much for that. And it's one of the reasons that we were so keen to have you on, to have you have SustainChain be a part of our ecosystem, because that's always been our focus. And that was how we first connected, because we were both giving a talk, I think, on Earth Day, and totally aligned on, why are we not collaborating and actually scaling what's already out there, rather than consistently reinventing the wheel, using resources starting from scratch when we just don't have the time for it.
That's
So yeah, we're really excited. So also, for anyone listening in, you can drop us a line with your information. We can invite you into the Impactoverse Collab hub, which is, of course, on SustainChain. So that, just collectively as an ecosystem, we can tap into, the rest of the groups and the networks, look at collectively what it is that we're doing and how we can continue to collaborate to be able to do more, because that is the way, that's got to be the way. So thank you for that. And Carla, I know that you've got some more questions as well, so I will hand over to you once again.
Yeah, thanks. I just want to, I'm in the chat right now. I just want to make sure that the people that are watching realize you can drop a question in the chat and we will ask it there. But I just, so as far as the people that you're serving, so it's all different phases of organizations, is that correct? From startups to commercialization, right? And in that, a lot of what is happening is you're helping people connect and find the resources that they need for those different stages and the people to connect with. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct. It is the resources and it is the partners, right? We increasingly are, all recognizing that, no one can go it alone, right? And we sort of have to, at this next stage of change and progress, sort of learn how to collaborate, right? And have sort of more connected action in a non-competitive way, right? That advances the whole, or we simply both won't get there collectively, won't get there individually either. So, everyone's talking a lot about innovation, but it needs funding, right? You need expertise, right? You need resources, you need so many things. And a great example, we have an incredible partnership now with XPRIZE, where we've just launched, actually we had our first webinar last Friday, and we launched the ability for carbon prize teams. I mean, these are some of the most innovative teams in the world working on, very groundbreaking solutions to carbon sequestration. But at the end of the day, they're teams, they're entrepreneurs, right? They need support, they need help, right? And so we've built an integration between the XPRIZE platform, where these teams, right, sort of reside, where they can instantly be launching needs to the entire SustainChain community. So I also, and beyond. So anyone, right, I urge anyone to sort of join that group, to participate. If you have something that you think that you can offer, right, that's incredible. But so basically folks are going to have access to these XPRIZE teams, right? And vice versa. So these teams can go in and they can say, we really need, some examples of their needs are like, they need testing facilities, right, in certain regions across the globe. They need access to certain data sets, right, for the work and the models that they're building. They need access to sort of either free or low cost licenses to software, right, because they can't afford to build this stuff themselves. Meanwhile, you've got all these huge organizations that want to help, right? They're working on, carbon is maybe one of their, key sustainability goals. This is a great way for them to actually support, help, move things along. And so we're starting to, again, create that connective tissue, right? There are so many organizations that want to help, right? Whether it's expertise or resources, or they've built the playbook, they've built the tool set, and they're saying, we want as many people to leverage this as possible. Well, where do you put it? Where's it? Right? Everyone's doing it in their individual websites or in their individual, Google spaces or whatever. We need to connect this, right? To share, right? To accelerate sort of the sharing and partnering economy.
Yeah, and what's really exciting about it is it's another example of bringing AI to the force of good. I do quite a bit of research and writing for blogs and tech companies and marketing for them in my day job. And so it's the potential, I've been thinking about this recently, for moving faster is now actually there. And so thanks for your work in that. We do have one question from Vishnu. It says, SustainChain looks impressive. We have been using Ellen MacArthur Foundation community platform for collabs and connection. Is it fair to compare the two?
I am not super familiar with their particular platform. I will say that there are lots of other community platforms out there, and we are not looking to reinvent the wheel or replace them, right? There's a lot of incredible, climate tech, communities that are using Slack. There's a lot that are using Mighty Networks, right? And what's another one? Like Circle.io. There's all sorts of incredible platforms, and many large alliances like MacArthur Foundation have their own very specific requirements for their community, right? One really important element of our strategy is that we are looking to be as interoperable, right, and public as possible. So we are not looking to replace any of those by any means, right? It's actually about how can we connect. So, how can we almost create this like fabric, right, of a guidance system and connectivity between those various platforms. So a big piece of what we've done is we've built an open API, right, through single sign-on, so that many of our partners that do have their own platform are actually saying, hey, we need our platform for our community for these reasons. We have our own, core functionality that's required, but would love to plug into SustainChain. And that's what XPRIZE is doing. And that's what actually the state university, the SUNY system across their 64 campuses are doing, right? And increasingly we're saying, hey, have your own platform, but if you want to share a need more broadly, or a solution or an initiative where you need partners from other communities to support, right? Or you're ready to scale your efforts, how can you instantly deploy that to an even bigger, right, connected network? And so it's, we have no, I'll say the interoperability is absolutely key, both from a sort of technology API plumbing, but even what we're beginning to explore is white labeling to say, hey, this doesn't have to be a SustainChain platform, right? If it needs to be sort of a little bit more branded, a bit more of an extension, right, to your community and ecosystem, wonderful, as long as we make sure that we're actually still connecting, opportunities across a bigger network.
Right.
Does that answer your question, hopefully?
Yeah, let us know in the chat if you've got a follow-up to that, Vishnu. But in the meantime,
thanks.
yeah. So is there one thing that you all need in the next 3 months?
Well, we are a nonprofit. So like anybody, we need funding to keep the lights going. We've been, very fortunate up until now to get some incredible support, including our the Blue Chip Foundation, who has supported us. And the reality is we get more and more demand to actually white label and to plug in and for other ecosystems to leverage it. We actually want to be able to meet that demand as quickly as possible. So funding helps us go faster. And then I would say partners, right? Partners that are truly doing the work, right? There's a lot of communities, right? There's a lot of convening bodies. And then there are the ones that are truly doing the work, right? Moving things forward, putting in the energy. So partners like that all day long that want to leverage it for free, right? However we can, we will customize the roadmap, right, to support them, because if it's helping them accelerate their journey, it's going to help other communities as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks. Sorry, Nolene, I
Yeah.
talked over you before. What?
No.
Away.
That's totally okay. Yeah, so I was going to say, Vishnu, thank you so much for joining in on this. I know you're doing some incredible work as well, so I hope that you're going to hop onto the platform and check it out and actually join the ecosystem. It's incredible. We're really excited to get this fully implemented alongside Impactoverse, because we're tapping into more and more networks, and like you say, Joanna, that key functionality at the core utility around collaborating, where it's actually collaborating and it's not just people communicating, right? Because there's a lot of that. There's a lot of networks and an opportunity for people to chat together. Yes. But what is lacking is the opportunity to be able to work together to
That's
scale impact, to be able to reach those, mutual goals. And sometimes the mutual goals are not the same goal, but if you can both achieve your goals and scale impact, then that's completely like on point with us. So very excited for where things are still going to go. What is next on the roadmap for you guys? I think we're probably running out of time, so yeah, that will be my last question.
I mean, next on the roadmap, we talk a lot about this in technology as well as sort of is the readiness, and we've sort of reached the readiness in terms of the utility of the platform. So what really next is it's opening up the aperture, right? And it's making it more available to more change makers and communities of change. And we've sort of been operating in stealth mode to a certain degree, right? We already have 1,600 organizations on the platform, but all of those are almost founding members, right? Giving us feedback, providing input, and so forth. We've done zero marketing. Now it's about, hey, this exists. It's been, learning and being refined, right, for some time now. We just have to open up the aperture, right, and make it more aware to, more available to as many change makers and ecosystems as possible. So that is the big piece, which is whether it's APIs, plugins, right, whether it's the white labeling, whether it's just simply making those, connections and offering it to the right communities of change. That's a big piece of our roadmap for the next year.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we're going to do all we can to support you on that as well, alongside the journey that we're on.
Amazing.
But yeah, guys, are there any other questions from anyone watching in? I think
I'm not seeing any, but you do have two new members. Vishnu signed up and Rachel's going to, so
awesome.
Yay,
awesome.
Yeah, start of a much bigger thing. So that's amazing. And this recording will be on the YouTube channel, Impactoverse's YouTube channel, and we'll share it on LinkedIn as well. And so we'll try to make it easy for people to find who couldn't make it to the actual speed date.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, ladies. And I'm looking forward to our collaboration and integration.
Yes, coming soon. So very excited about that. And we will talk more on that. But everyone, thank you so much for listening in, for watching. Really appreciate you being here, whatever time of the day it is, wherever you are. And